Okay, good. We'll begin this today, and tomorrow is Friday, right? So tomorrow, Friday morning, God willing, we'll try to complete it. This is found in the 33rd book of the Rebbe's speeches. It talks about Bein HaMetzarim. Bein HaMetzarim are the 3 weeks which begin with the 17th day of Tammuz. That's when the Babylonians, they broke through the walls. Some say also the Romans in the Second Temple. They broke through the walls, and the 3 weeks end with Tisha B'Av when both temples were destroyed. And it also comes in this week's Torah portion. Omer Azal, the rabbis say, this is in Hebrew. Omer Azal, the rabbis say, translated. Omer Azal, the rabbis say, translated from Yiddish. She Yemei Bein HaMetzarim, that these 3 weeks are hinted at Mashkatuv in the prophecy of Jeremiah. And Jeremiah is prophesying about the destruction of the temple and the exile of the Jewish people into Babylon. Right? Jeremiah was right in the end of the first temple. It says over there, Makel Sheked Ani Ro'eh. God said, I will send you a staff of an almond tree, an almond staff, a staff from an almond tree, I see. Right? So God said, Ha-shaked hazeh, this almond branch, mishachanito, from the time it is planted, ad gomer bishulo, until it is the almonds actually come out, 21 days. So God shows Jeremiah, he says, what do you see? He said, I see a staff of almond trees. And God says, Shaked ani lasoto. Shaked means that I'm going to be, how do you say, concentrated. I'm going to do it quickly. Shaked means that he's doesn't stop. He doesn't. God says, I'm going to destroy the temple. Shaked ani lasoto. It says, what a shaked, it's means almond. It was an almond branch. This almonds, they take 21 days from the time you see the first buds until it finishes the actual fruit. It's 21 days. I never checked it out, but that's what it says. These are the 21 days, 3 weeks, which are between the 17th day of Tammuz and the 9th of Av. So if so, the vision that God showed to Jeremiah about destruction of the temple was a staff from a almond tree. It says that this hints at the 21 days from the time that the walls were broken until the temple was destroyed. These are the 3 weeks that we've been mourning already for, 2,000 years. From the first temple, 2,500 years. The Pasha simply, it's implied, that this time, the time of the growth of the almonds, the growth of the almonds, this hints at the time of the 3 weeks, the 3 weeks of mourning. This is only because both of them happen to be equal in the number, 21. But as we know that everything that's in the Torah is exact, tachlit diuk, so it's very logical to say, there must be some deeper connection. We can explain, according to the Mishnah, that there are 2 types of almonds. There are bitter ones, and they are sweet ones. This is found in a Mishnah in Maisrot. You have to give a tithe, about tithing your produce, giving it to the coin. So there's 2 types of almonds. There's bitter ones and there are sweet ones. The almonds that are bitter, they weren't always bitter. Almonds that are now bitter, when they started, they were sweet. And they become bitter as they grow. But the almonds that are now sweet when they're finished is exactly the opposite. When they started to grow, they were bitter. And afterwards, when they finished, they were sweet. Okay. By the way, it says something like that about lettuce. That's why we use for moror. The best thing is to use lettuce because lettuce is sweet when it starts and it becomes bitter as it grows. He says the same thing with almonds. There's certain almonds that are called bitter almonds. Now they are bitter, but you should know those bitter almonds, when they started, they were sweet. And there's almonds that which are now sweet, they're good tasting. But you should know if right now they're good tasting, you should know that when they were small, when they just started, right, 21 days ago or 20 days ago when they started, as that they were bitter. It's explained in Safnat Paneach. There's a book called Safnat Paneach, which was written by Rav Yosef Ruzhin. It was called the Rogachover Gaon. She'ikar Shem Shkedim, that this whole name of almonds, al Hagadolim Mitukim. Nowadays, when we're talking about almonds, and also what was hinted at by the vision of Jeremiah, are sweet almonds, which implies that what? Now they're sweet, but when they were small, they were mar. And those which, when they were small, they were sweet, and now they're bitter, they're not called shkedim, they're called luzim. So the name shaked, so it comes out that when it says shaked, it always refers to transforming bitter to sweet. That's what God showed to Jeremiah. He showed shkedim. In other words, when they finished, they were sweet, implying that in the beginning they were bitter. So if so, we see that there's something in common with almonds, with these 21 days, more than just the number. Also the nature. We can say that the reason this is hinted at, these days between the Metzorim, Makal Shaked, that's why it was a staff that was Shaked, of Shkedim. In other words, fruits, almonds that are now sweet. Because the whole essence of these days is not just to negate the bad things, the bitterness, but even more, like the language of the Rambam regarding these days, to transform. Like the Maimonides writes about these fast days, to transform the Havcham, not just to ignore the bad, and to build a new future. No, to transform the bad into good days. We may sasam v'simcha, days of joy, rejoicing and happiness. How can we do that? We'll see. For tomorrow, instead of being bitter, you'll be happy that it was bitter because it started off bitter, therefore it ended up sweet. They'll be sweet and happy. According to this, we can also understand this Yud Remir, this promise of Jeremiah, that Haya kasher shakarti aleim linatosh chem ken eshkor alechem libanot. God said, just like I will be, very concentrated, and God said, I'll be excited and concentrated to destroy and to do bad to you. Also, I'll be concentrated and I will have rejoice to build you up. This is to transform from one pole to the others. Not only will God be, industrious to do just like God said, I'll be very industrious and very, constant to take away the good from you. Also, the same thing is, I'll be very, very constant and alacritous to take away the bad, to transform the bad to good. According to this, now we can understand something else about this prophecy. The hint that these days of the Metzorim, these 3 weeks, to a staff of a almond is mitkavenet b'mihirut b'gidul pri. This intends, the whole purpose, what do we say, is that the fruit grows quickly. If so, we have to understand what's the whole thing of why do you have to have a staff? Shirom mata, that God showed a staff that on it grew the almonds. The main thing is the almonds. The staff didn't grow. The whole thing is the almonds. The almonds take 21 days. The almonds were bitter and the almonds are sweet. Why did God have to show Jeremiah a staff? Just show him almonds. Why did he have to show a staff? And the staff didn't have any leaves on it. It didn't have any flowers on it. Why didn't he just show? Oh, first of all, he showed him a staff, and then on that staff grew up. Why did he have to show him the staff? He should have showed him, if he was going to show him a staff, it should have a staff that has on it almonds already, right? What did God show him? So it showed him a staff, and the staff grew up almonds quickly. Almonds quickly. God said the same way that this almonds grew up quickly, as I'm going to quickly bring destruction to you, and I'm also quickly going to bring building to you. Also, what did he have to have a staff that grew up? Show him almonds and say, listen, the same way as these almonds grow quickly. He didn't know almonds grow quickly. What do you have a staff for? L'chaorma, at first glance, the staff is hinting at something else. Makel shows on smiting, punishing, peronios, retribution. Shehavia Kodesh Baruch Hu, that God brought on the Jews on these days. But at first glance, this is not a good explanation. Why? Because the main prophecy to Jeremiah was on the Shkeda. It wasn't God was saying that I'm going to punish you. The main thing was over here on the quickness, on the alacritas, the hurriedness that he gets it done. Shoked ani al davar la'asoto. That I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do it constantly until it gets done, quickly, until says even more so that this is lonis karponios. That even over here it doesn't say that I'm going to bring bad on you. Later on it says, okay. And the main thing he wants to say is that what I'm saying I'm going to bring quickly. That's what it says over here. Jeremiah, I'm showing you almonds to show that what I'm about to tell you is going to happen quickly. So the whole thing is quickly. What does he have to have a staff for? It's not showing. A staff shows on punishment. He's not showing it. If so, Adifa Ayala Ramez at the Shkedabov and Barur. He should have brought clearly just showing him just the fruits, or at least to show a staff that already had fruits on it. And first of all, he showed him a staff from an almond tree. Until it says that if you look over there in the prophecy, and where is it? Let's see, in Jeremiah, we'll find the place here. Let's see, find the place. Where was it? No, it's a previous page here. Let's have a look. Here. Jeremiah, Olive, is that right? 2. Here. Jeremiah, the first chapter, 11th sentence. First chapter, 11th sentence of Jeremiah. This will be, by the way, the Haftorah of this week, of this Shabbat, right? This Shabbat. So why did God have to show Jeremiah? First of all, he showed him just the staff. And Jeremiah said, what is this? And all of a sudden there grew on this is the vision, there grew almonds. And God said, this is to show that what I'm about to say is going to happen quickly. And I am going to be very constant and concentrate. I'm going to do it. It says, why a staff? Doesn't make any sense. According to what we said before, this whole idea, what we said about happening quickly, we can say that the reason that he showed him a staff is because he wanted to show a remez anal shebashkedim. It must be somehow or other relevant, transforming bad to good. So somehow or other, the staff must fit into this. The staff must be an important message about how to transform bad to good, because he showed him almonds, sweet almonds. Those are ones that start off bitter and they end up sweet. That's transformation. So it must be that God showing him just the staff in the beginning is also part of how we transform this. What's the explanation? We'll find out, God willing, tomorrow. Let's now learn the Devar Mal. Here we go. Go. A Hasidic saying makes the head clear and cleans out the heart. A Hasidic practice fills the house with light. A Hasidic melody strengthens hope and trust, brings joy, and places the home and the family in a state of light. A saying, a custom, and a song. Okay, have a good day with Moshiach. Now, God willing, we'll meet again today at 3 o'clock. And we'll also finish the Sikha that we started about the almonds and the staff and how we can transform these 21 days to happiness and joy. That we'll do tomorrow morning at 8:15. So I hope to see you at 3 o'clock today. We're learning about the Holy Temple.